At 6.
Two brothers are dead after two ATV crashes in Barnes County last night. Officials say the two men were riding on 27th Street Southeast around 7:30 near Eccleston when 43-year-old Kyle Foster lost control and rolled his ATV. 47-year-old Jeremy Foster was ahead and began to retrace his path to find Kyle when he also lost control and rolled. Kyle died at the scene. Jeremy died on the way to the hospital. Officials say alcohol played a factor in both crashes. A missing Wisconsin man was found dead yesterday morning in a rural area of Stutsman County. Authorities pulled the body of 20-year-old Gage Laper from a sluice around 10:30. Authorities tell us Laper was driving to Colorado when his car got stuck in the mud last Sunday. And then he tried to call his mom and they lost contact. Laper's cell phone was recovered Thursday along a property fence line. Officials say foul play is not suspected at this time. 23 people were taken to the hospital this morning following a bus crash carrying a junior high volleyball team in Williams County. The crash happened around 9 on County Road 5, about 18 miles south of Gennora. Officials say the driver started to steer off of the road and overcorrected. That's when the bus overturned. All 23 people were evaluated. The driver and one passenger had minor injuries. Let's take a look outside and send it over to our meteorologist, Justin Fanfarelli, for a look at our weather. Justin?
And thank you, Katie, and good evening, everybody. We've got mainly dry conditions as you make your way from the Northern Valley and into northwestern Minnesota, but the rain does continue as you make your way further south and off to the west. We have a light rain from Fargo, points off to the south, Lakes Country, out toward Valley City and Jamestown, some light rain, and it stretches all the way up toward the Devil's Lake Basin right now, and there's a lot more rain on the way into portions of central and western North Dakota. So the chance of rain continuing through this evening, possibly into tomorrow morning. Also, we are pretty cool as temperatures across the southern half of our viewing area into the low to mid 50s, some upper 50s into the northern valley, but into the Devil's Lake Basin, we are into the lower 50s. So there's your on and off rain showers from Fargo, points off to the south going through this evening as temperatures stay into the lower 50s. And unfortunately, we have more rain on the way, along with some cool temperatures as we go through the rest of the work week. We'll have the details on that coming up later on in the newscast.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you, Justin.
To those soldiers that have fought and given their lives, served, and their family members as well.
For years, North Dakota was one of a handful of states without a national veterans cemetery. Today, that's no longer the case. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero was in Harwood as several federal and state leaders christened the new cemetery.
A somber and damp morning, yet the rain wasn't enough to stop veterans from attending Saturday's dedication.
Please be seated.
David Egbert served in the Air Force during the 1960s.
The rain didn't bother. No.
And couldn't miss this event.
It's great being I live here now in Fargo. I plan to be interned here someday.
The pomp moving many who attended.
I went into the Air Force right after high school, and I feel it was the greatest thing I ever did.
Senators John Hoeven and Kevin Kramer spoke at the ceremony for the Fargo Veterans Cemetery.
So to the living, I would say, honor our heroes by living like free people. Celebrating freedom, not compromising it.
So it's not just for our veterans, it's for all of us who love our veterans and the family members who want to go and honor them.
Other federal and state leaders addressed the crowd.
These are men and women that have given their everything for this country, and without them, we wouldn't have the freedoms that we have.
Towards the end of the dedication, Gold Star families were asked to come up. It was a walk David Francavilla wishes he'd never have to make.
It's amazing to think how many years have passed, 5 decades, and here we are dedicating to the cemetery so that no veteran will ever be forgotten.
His brother was a U.S. Marine when he died in Vietnam.
Tremendous honor to serve with the military, but yet in the same side, there are costs, and that's why we have these cemeteries, so they'll never be forgotten.
To die serving in our country's military is truly the ultimate sacrifice one can pay for the red, white, and blue. In Harwood, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
The cemetery will serve the needs of 30,000 veterans, their spouses, and family members. A Garrison native and World War II veteran has been reunited with his dog tags after 75 years. 97-year-old Ed Boger didn't even realize all those years ago he was missing his dog tag until his family received a message from a man in New Guinea through Facebook. Ed says he was shocked.
We wore them all the time. And when I didn't have it, I didn't know where it was.
Boger says he wants to take a trip to New Guinea to meet his new friend. New Guinea is about 7,500 miles from Garrison. Dorian has left a mess along the east coast of the United States. Volunteers from the Dakotas are headed there to help clean up efforts. The Red Cross says 17 volunteers are helping. Each volunteer trains in a special way so that when the disaster strikes, they're ready to help.
You know, in those evacuation shelters, make sure there's food and that it's safe and it's clean, and just to make it more homely for people that are, you know, displaced from their home.
The center of Dorian was expected to move across the central and eastern Nova Scotia late this afternoon or early evening. Outer bands of Dorian already were producing strong winds and heavy rain in southern New Brunswick and mainland Nova Scotia. The rain didn't stop the Golden Drive from having their 7th annual community event and bike run. Many took a trip out of Bonanzaville to raise awareness about homelessness and kids around the Fargo-Moorhead area. Golden Drive is a nonprofit that connects members of our community to those in need. The founder of the organization, Sue Barron, says it's about kids helping other kids. You can see how children from all over our area are stepping up to help tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10. Still ahead on Valley News Live at 6, Hurricane Dorian has made its way up the East Coast and has now moved into Canada. We continue to track the storm and its impacts.
And we have picked up 1/5 of an inch of rain in Fargo as temperatures staying really cool between 50 and 53 degrees today. Now we're going to warm up a little as we go through the day tomorrow, but stay cool for this time of year through next week. Details coming up.